Datalog of significant persons. Lightning. Lightning is now the goddess's champion, and has sworn to protect Etro's temple in the unseen realm of Valhalla. She fights a never-ending battle against Caius Ballad, the man who would destroy the goddess and unleash the energies of chaos upon the world. From Valhalla, where the entire span of history can be seen, Lightning sends her voice to past champions and guides them to where the timeline needs them most. After a brief reunion with her sister in a future New Bottom, the former soldier entrusts Sarah and Noel with a mission to prevent the prophesied fall of Cocoon, while she herself prepares for a final confrontation with Caius in the city beyond time. Sarah Farron. Sarah began her journey through time to search for her sister, Lightning, who somehow slipped through the cracks of history. She is a gentle person at heart, but shows her strength of will when faced with difficulty or hardship. During the events leading up to her departure from New Bottom, Sarah was blessed with the ability to see changes to the future, a power known as the Eyes of Etro. This power has its source in the chaotic realm of Valhalla, and each ripple in history drains a little more of her life force. Even knowing the danger which this puts her, Sarah is determined to accompany Noel as they strive to make changes and bring hope for the world of tomorrow. Snow Villiers. Snow is Sarah's fiancé and a former lessee. 3 years ago, he proved himself a hero when he saved Sarah alongside Lightning. After the catastrophe that befell Cocoon, he left on a journey to find Sarah's missing sister. The determined Nora leader has vowed not to return until he is successful, and left Sarah with an engagement necklace. Snow once escaped the cursed fate of a lessee, but his arm still shows the glowing brand of servitude. It appears the irrepressible hero encountered more than just time gates during his journey to find Lightning. Erba dia Vanille. Vanille was born in the Grand Pulse village of Erba. She fought against Cocoon in the War of Transgression hundreds of years ago, but turned to Crystal before her focus was complete. The catastrophe that occurred centuries later was set in motion when she awoke from crystal stasis. After meeting with Lightning and Snow, Vanille decided to fight for the home of her new friends and sacrificed herself to save Cocoon. Even now, the Grand Pulse native sleeps within the crystal pillar that supports the fallen shell. Erba Yun Fang. Fang is a lessee from the same village as Vanille. She transformed into the monster Ragnarok during the War of Transgression and came close to destroying Cocoon. In her moment of triumph, however, an irresistible force intervened and scorched her brand. Fang and Vanille then fell into a premature crystal slumber. When she awoke with Vanille several centuries later, their actions started a catastrophic chain of events. Fang eventually redeemed herself by being part of the miracle that saved Cocoon, and now sleeps within the crystal pillar alongside her fellow Grand Pulsian. Hope Esheim. Hope Esheim is a young leader within the Academy. Along with Lightning and Snow, he was also one of the former lessee responsible for saving Cocoon. Hope studied tirelessly and skipped several grades in the pursuit of his degree. He has been part of the Academy since its inception, and rose to the top of its leading research team within a few short years. From his experience with fighting fal'Cie, Hope has developed a strong belief that the scientific knowledge will be the key that grants mankind independence. The young Estheim has gained attention as the main advocate of the Academy's ideals. Saz Katzroy. Saz is one of the former Lassie responsible for protecting Cocoon. With a chocobo chick as his constant companion, this courageous father threw himself into battle to rescue his son, Dodge, from a fate worse than death. In his regular occupation, Saz works as a top-class pilot. He continued to fly airships after the fall of Cocoon, but one day he simply disappeared along with his son. Alyssa Zidell. Alyssa has been promoted to Hope's main assistant, and is the foremost researcher in the field of time gates and paradoxes. It was her report on the events that took place in the Brescia ruins in 5AF that caught Hope's attention and led to her rapid rise in the Academy. There are some who believe she is using Hope to further her own ambitions, but her knowledge of space-time theory is such that the young director entrusts her with an entire branch of research. Mog. Mog is a small, mysterious creature covered in white fur. He has bat-like wings that he often beats as he flits around, but his power of flight does not appear to rely on them. Mog has a crystal bauble that reacts to the presence of anomalies, and he is proficient at finding lost objects, but his most astounding feature is his ability to transform into a weapon. With the right components available, Mog is capable of evolving into even more powerful weaponry. Lightning came across Mog in Valhalla and asked the strange little being to act as Sarah's protector and good luck charm. Although he closely resembles the fictitious Moogles described in Cocoon's fairy tales, the connection is uncertain. Nora. Nora is a vigilante group of young do-gooders from the Cocoon town of Bottom. No strangers to fending for themselves, the group went on to found the settlement of New Bottom in the harsh environment of Pulse. Nora consists of 4 core members: the intimidating Gadot, Snow's right-hand man; the amiable mood maker, Huge; the mechanical genius, Maquis; and the Nora House resident chief, LeBro. Snow, Nora's founding member, is presently away from New Bottom. Chocolina. Chocolina is a time-traveling merchant who can be found all over the world. There are reports of this mysterious trader appearing in almost every age in history. Some rumors say that she is a certain creature that took on human form. Aside from offering an assortment of wares, Chocolina is also an expert craftsperson, able to synthesize special weapons and items from raw materials. She will, however, always insist on collecting a fee. Chocolina deserves great joy from her offering her services to needy time travelers, and seems to know much about Sarah and Noel. Yule. Yule is a seeress, burdened with the power of prophecy. Her lifespan grows shorter with every vision of the future. She dies at a young age, only to be born once more among the Farseer people. Each reincarnation has the same appearance and ability, and is given the name Yule. The Yule who Noel befriends is the last seeress. She promises the young hunter that they will meet again, before breathing her last. The last vision she sees is not one of despair, but of hope. Noel Chryse. Noel is the last child of humanity, born in a world 700 years after the catastrophe. He is the hunter from the future who encouraged Sarah to step out of the present and into the flow of time. Noel is one of the Far-Seer tribe and became the seeress Yule's protector at a young age. The earnest hunter yearned to best Caius in combat, but was abandoned by his mentor before he had the chance to prove himself. Finally, unable to save Yule from her mortal fate, Noel was left alone, the last human on Earth. Noel refused to give in to despair, and when he reached out his hand to Etro, the goddess sent him to Valhalla to meet with lightning. Thus began Noel and Sarah's mission to save the future. Caius Ballad. Caius Ballad is a former lessee and the immortal guardian of the seeress, Yule. Everything this man has done for the past several centuries has been for the purpose of freeing his charge from her curse of eternal reincarnation. If he can kill the goddess and send the artificial cocoon plummeting into pulse, the resulting flood of volatile chaos through Etro's gate would shatter the boundary between Valhalla and the mortal realm. Life and death would cease to hold meaning, and Yule's cruel fate would finally be undone. Or so Caius believes. Datalog. Paradoxes. Time gates. Time gates appear as strange glowing portals, and each requires a specific artifact to activate it. By passing through these gates and traveling outside the timeline, it is said one can eventually arrive in Valhalla. Artifacts. Artifacts are the keys that activate time gates. These objects can appear in any form, and are only identified as things that shouldn't exist, or items from another time, making the search for an artifact a difficult task. Artifacts are strongly tied to their possessors, and are also said to take on completely different shapes depending on the person who handles them. Historia Crux. The Historia Crux is the crossroads that lies between the time gates. It is a separate dimension connecting one age to the next. This surreal plane is said to be the border of the chaotic realm of Valhalla, and only those with an affinity for the power of chaos are able to use it to travel through time. Even the godlike fal'Cie are not free to enter the Historia Crux as they please. Paradoxes. Following the appearance of the gate that appeared in New Bottom in 3AF, time gates began showing up in a multitude of locations. The Research Institute, the Academy, gave a name to the anomalies that accompany the arrival of these gates and cause impossible things to happen. They called them paradoxes. In any location where a paradox is present, people report strange occurrences, such as the sudden appearances of unusual monsters and odd connections to other times and places. Cocoon's Fall, the Prophecy. In the Oracle Drive images that Hope shows at the Yasshus Massif, there is a scene that clearly shows Caius causing Cocoon to fall. Oracle drives are said to hold the prophecies of the seeress, and in Noel's world, 700 years in the future, Cocoon has already fallen. From these two facts, it is predicted that the crystal pillar will crumble within the next few centuries, and send the massive sphere plummeting towards the surface of Pulse. The Crystal Pillar. During the catastrophe of 0AF, a gigantic crystal pillar appeared and caught Cocoon in its embrace. This miracle was the work of Fong and Vanille, two women who sacrificed themselves to achieve the impossible. In the centuries that follow, however, erosion weakens the massive structure. This second threat to Cocoon triggers a war among its people, and the resulting violence brings the sphere crashing to the ground. The apocalyptic age in which Noel was born is what remains of the world after those tragic events come to pass. Gates of Augusta. Academy DataNet file. This information is accurate as of the year 200 AF. The highest floor of Augusta Tower is the site of a gate that behaves differently from a standard time portal, instead leading to a virtual space within the AI mainframe. To activate this special gate, one must climb to the top floor of the tower and directly access the AI's core. Paradox and Memory. Something strange is happening to Noel's memory. The affected parts appear to be anything related to Yule, Caius, and the history of Cocoon's fall. The problem is not with Noel. Interference in history has destabilized the past, giving rise to another type of paradox effect. Atlas. Atlas is a massive humanoid war machine found within the Brescia ruins, and it began an uncontrolled rampage when the paradox effect was triggered. Only the left hand of Atlas was uncovered, but the rest of its invisible body is thought to exist in a different space-time. Despite being excavated in the ruins of an ancient city, the technology that powers the giant is far beyond the capabilities of that age. Researchers theorize that Atlas is actually a man-made weapon pulled into the present from some future time period. Proto-Fal'C Atom. Academy DataNet file. Proto-Fal'C Atom is an artificial fal'C that oversees the city of Academia. This man-made entity handles all of the roles previously filled by the Cocoon fal'C. Atom is an all-powerful being who protects the lives and interests of the citizenry, a fal'C for the people. Datalog Society. FFXIII and FFXIII. The FFXIII are supernatural entities that once governed the floating paradise of Cocoon. These godlike beings possess the power to curse humans, transforming them into FFXIII. Lightning and Sarah were once enslaved as FFXIII and given the task of destroying Cocoon. Lightning defied the will of the FFXIII and steered her fate down a different road. Following the catastrophe, the FFXIII of Cocoon fell into slumber. A different group of FFXIII exists on Grand Pulse, but they show little interest in the activities of humans. FFXIII and FFXIII. FFXIII are the cursed human servants of the FFXIII. Those chosen to serve find their bodies marked with a brand, and are given orders in the form of a vague vision. This vision is known as a focus, and FFXIII are granted magical powers in order to fulfill their abstract destiny. FFXIII that complete their focus are transformed into eternal crystals. Those who fail to do so within the allotted time are stripped of their brand and become hideous monsters known as Seath. These mindless creatures are bereft of emotion and reason, and lose all semblance of humanity. Sarah was once chosen as a FFXIII, but through the heroic efforts of her fiancé and her sister, she was safely returned to her human self. Catastrophe. 3 years ago, mankind stared into the face of extinction when Cocoon almost crashed onto the surface of Pulse. The sphere's fall was halted by Lightning's companions, Fang and Vanille. Their desperate sacrifice summoned a massive pillar that cradled the plummeting Cocoon in its crystalline branches. Averting an unimaginable disaster, the two FFXIII now sleep within the pillar in crystal form, and there are some who believe Lightning slumbers alongside them. A new age began from that day forth, with each subsequent year marked by the letters AF, or After the Fall. Magic. Magic is the ability to draw on the crystal power residing within oneself and make possible all manner of incredible feats. This power was once only the province of FFXIII, but since the catastrophe and the migration to Pulse, some former citizens of Cocoon have suddenly developed the ability to wield magic. Sarah is one of these people. Many of those who now command magical energies are simple civilians, and have never had Sarah's experience of once being a FFXIII. It is theorized that the move to Grand Pulse has awoken these abilities, and people are beginning to see magic as just another tool in their ordinary lives. Noel is also capable of casting spells, but doesn't seem to think of himself as anything special. Summoning. Sarah's ability to summon monsters is another power born from chaos. The summoner seals defeated creatures in crystals and calls them forth when needed. The weak serve the strong. It is this law of the unseen realm that binds the summoned monsters to the will of their master. Some FFXIII command eidolons, and the underlying principle is similar. The difference that sets this new power apart, however, lies in the ability to acquire multiple monstrous allies. In her dream, Sarah saw lightning leading an entire army of beasts, and this is likely a more powerful version of the same ability. The Gran Elevator. The Gran Elevator is an ambitious project that aims to build a conveyance that will travel along the crystal pillar and connect Cocoon to Gran Pulse. The main purpose of the elevator is to provide a means to transport materials from inside Cocoon and help speed construction of the city springing up at the base of the pillar. With completion of the elevator scheduled for 4 AF, it is still under construction when Sarah and Noel first pass through a time gate in 3 AF. The Academy. The Academy is a research institute founded in the year 3 AF. In addition to improving existing scientific techniques, the Institute also actively seeks out lost technologies. After the fall of Cocoon, the true nature of the fal'Cie and their antipathy towards humans was revealed. In response to this development, the Academy champions a philosophy that encourages the restoration of society based solely on the efforts of mankind, with no interference from or reliance upon the fal'Cie. Proto-fal'Cie Project. Academy DataNet File. The Proto-fal'Cie project began in 13 AF, under the direction of the Academy. The objective was to develop an artificial fal'Cie in order to re-levitate Cocoon. The project was proposed and designed by Alyssa Zidell and directed by Hope Estheim. The Proto-fal'Cie project is currently underway in Augusta Tower, the Academy's central network facility. Man versus Machine. Classified information. In the decade following the commencement of the Proto-fal'Cie project, a conflict arose in the Academy between the AI construct and its human creators. The construct insisted that the Proto-fal'Cie be imbued with the full powers of a fal'Cie, but the scientists countered with the argument that the more dangerous combat functions were unnecessary. With no compromise forthcoming, the project faced termination. In 13 AF, the project director, Hope Estheim, was assassinated, and the debate died with him. The Proto-fal'Cie was eventually created with the fully functional ability to change humans into l'Cie or Seath. Duplicates. A duplicate is a human-like entity created by the Academy by scanning a person's molecular information and reproducing it as a solid model. It is basically a physical copy of that person, but incapable of independent thought. Certain molecular functions cannot be reproduced, and are supplemented with approximate calculations. Although possessed of a physical body, and some military-purpose models do exist, duplicates are essentially solid, three-dimensional images. For this reason, should a duplicate ever be disconnected from the network, it would cease to exist. Time Capsule. The Time Capsule, designed by Alyssa Zidell, is a device that enables a limited version of time travel. A powerful gravitational field is produced within the capsule, significantly decelerating the flow of time. This results in a phenomenon where a single day for the occupant translates to the passage of several centuries in the outside world. for all intents and purposes bringing the capsule's interior into the future. Considering a passenger cannot return to the past, and substantial risks concerning life support system failure have been projected, the time capsule has yet to progress beyond experimental trials. Graviton cores. A graviton core is an extremely rare material discovered within the 13th arc. The arc is kept aloft by the buoyant force produced through the cross-reaction between crystal ores clustered within the core. This system provides a semi-perpetual energy source, eliminating the need to rely on outside power supplies. The man-made cocoon and its massive population will require far more power to stabilize than the floating fortress. In order to maintain constant levitation, scientists calculate that at least 5 separate graviton cores will be needed. Datalog. Locales. Cocoon and pulse. Cocoon is a massive sphere constructed and set in the sky by the powerful and enigmatic beings known as the FFXIII. Up until 0 AF, it was a floating paradise that was home to several million people. Now, however, the broken shell rests on an immense crystal pillar bereft of the power source that once kept it aloft. The interior of the sphere has deteriorated, forcing the population to relocate to the land below. The lower world, known as either Pulse or Gran Pulse, is an unforgiving wilderness infested with predatory monsters. This world once boasted a civilization that stood in conflict with Cocoon, but traces of its culture exist only in ruins. New Bottom. New Bottom is one of the settlements built by immigrants from Cocoon on the shores of Pulse. Many of its residents, including Sarah Farron, are former inhabitants of Cocoon's seaside town of Bottom. Sarah's fiancé, Snow, chose the settlement's name. The members of his group, Nora, help work the fields and protect the townspeople from roaming monsters. The Brescia Ruins and the Purge. During the catastrophe that befell Cocoon, the Brescia Ruins were the site of terrible casualties. The reason for this can be found in the Purge. The Purge was the name given to the mass deportation of Bottom's residents. The FFXIII manipulated the actions of the Sanctum and the elite army unit known as PSICOM, sowing chaos and inciting conflict among Cocoon's populace. Many civilians fled to Lake Brescia and its ruins to escape the Purge, but a great majority were crushed by ancient structures that collapsed when Cocoon's momentum was suddenly halted. Academia. Academy Datanet File. Academia is the capital city of the settlements that have sprung up around the base of the Cocoon Pillar, and the location of the Academy headquarters. Construction of Academia began approximately 400 years ago. Later, the artificial FFXIII atom was completed and set to oversee the running of the city. Academia is protected by a highly advanced security system. In the event that intruders enter the city, a range of countermeasures will be set in motion to contain and eliminate the threat. Augusta Tower. Academy Datanet File. Augusta Tower is the central information processing facility of the Academy. The entire edifice is occupied by the machinery of an artificial intelligence that possesses unprecedented processing power. The tower also houses the Proto-FFXIII project, an ambitious plan to create a man-made FFXIII. Serendipity. Serendipity is the name of a fantastical wonderland that appears in the folklore of Grand Pulse, and was first imagined by a certain minstrel of old. This mythical palace exists on the border between life and death, and it is said to only open its doors to those chosen by Lady Luck. The fortunate souls that gain entrance experience joy and amusement beyond measure, cavorting in an eternal now that knows neither day nor night. The minstrel who penned the original fable vanished before its completion. Some say the goddess herself invited him to serendipity. The Colosseum. In a lost corner of the void beyond, there is a place where mighty souls gather. It is a testing ground for powerful warriors from every age and every reality, who come to pit their fighting skills against one another. On the day of reckoning, it is said these combatants will join the battle to end all battles. Only one law governs the Colosseum. The weak serve the strong. The one that stands triumphant in this arena commands unswerving loyalty from the rest. Datalog, History and Myth. The goddess Atro. In the ancient annals of Grand Pulse, Atro appears as the goddess of death and chaos. She is said to reside in the world where the souls of the dead find their rest, Valhalla. The people of the lower world worship Pulse, the great deity from which the land takes its name. Many tales from their folklore portray Atro as the aberrant goddess of the afterlife. In the city of Padra, however, faith in the goddess was commonplace, and it was said that the seeress drew her prophetic powers directly from Atro. Valhalla. Valhalla is an otherworldly dimension, also known as the Unseen Realm. According to Pulse legend, it is the final resting place of the souls of the dead, and the chaotic world where the goddess Atro makes her home. Some theories describe it as a city that exists beyond the flow of time, and others claim it is a future where time has come to a standstill. The seeress of Padra describes it thus: the entire span of time can be seen from Valhalla, but to exert power beyond its borders, one must first open Atro's gate. Guardians. The warriors who accompany and protect the seeress Yule are chosen from among the most capable of the Farseer people. A guardian is the strongest of these, a defender that wields the power of chaos. This power is said to surpass even the godlike might of the FFXIII. Only one true guardian is permitted to exist at any one time. Another protector of the Farseer tribe who challenges and defeats this champion becomes the new guardian and wielder of chaotic energy. Heart of Chaos. The Heart of Chaos is the goddess Atro's own heart, given to Caius. It is the font of the immortal guardian's power. Only if another potential guardian defeats him and takes this power can Caius truly be killed. And the only person remaining in this world with that potential is Noel. If the new guardian has enough strength of will, he can release the heart's power and put an end to immortal destiny. If he wavers, however, he will be enslaved in the chains of chaos and become the latest in the line of eternal servants. Eyes of Atro. The Eyes of Atro is another name given to Yule's power to see changes in the timeline. Not restricted to the past or future, Yule can witness any period of history. This ability is associated with the powers of chaos, and is thus seen as a blessing of the goddess. The fact that Sarah shares this ability is a sign that she has come under the gaze of Atro at some point in the past. Every time a seeress has a vision, a part of her life force is drained away. For this reason, all the Yules of history have died before their 20th birthdays. The eyes of Atro cannot be voluntarily closed, and most often open when history undergoes a significant upheaval. Noel is afraid that every change they make during their journey is eating away a little more of Sarah's lifespan. Oracle Drives. Oracle drives are ancient image-capturing devices found across the breadth of Grand Pulse. They appear to hold the visions seen by the Padrean seeress. Images that depict the future as seen from that time have been proven to be accurate. An oracle drive was discovered near the Padrean ruins by Hope and his team of researchers. Due to the appearance of several gates in the area, scientists are focusing on the relationship between the drive and the paradox effect. The Farseers. Centuries in the past on Grand Pulse, a people known as the Farseers built the prosperous city of Padra. They flourished under the guidance of the seeress, whose predictions of the future guided the growth of their civilization. After the war of transgression that took place between Cocoon and Pulse, it is thought that the Farseer civilization died out. Another theory suggests that the people of Padra became a nomadic tribe, and still roam the wilds of Grand Pulse. Unseen Chaos. The chaos of the unseen realm is a malevolent energy that seeps through into the world of mortals. The existence-defying darkness witnessed by lightning is an immense and inexorable force, a creeping doom that she is not even certain acts with a unified purpose or will. Where the chaos of Valhalla leaks into the mortal realm, the laws of the physical world are undone. This paradoxical energy seeks to return all existence to the unseen realm, but at times it seems to show an almost odd affection for those who share an affinity with chaos. Atro's Gate. The instant Atro's Gate opened, a world-devouring darkness slipped through from Valhalla. The goddess turned back the river of time, and that terrible darkness, the unseen chaos, was sealed away. Her power exhausted, Atro fell into a sleep from which she would never awaken. It was Lightning who sensed that someone meant to exploit that weakness and destroy the goddess for good. She learned the man called Caius Ballad. If the goddess is destroyed, the chaos of the unseen realm would be unleashed, and the mortal realm devoured by Valhalla. Lightning decided to stand and fight to protect Atro and see her benevolent will upheld. Death of a Goddess. The goddess is dead. Noel plunged his sword into the heart of chaos, and Atro's very presence faded away like mist. Freed from the deity's constraints, the chaos of the unseen realm then rose up in a great wave that smashed apart Atro's gate with contemptuous ease. The swirling maelstrom roiled forth with a strength beyond imagination. All of existence was engulfed in darkness, and the world that remained was bereft of life and death, past and future. At the height of her battle with Caius, Lightning realized this fate was unavoidable. The weary warrior accepted her defeat, and entered into crystal slumber with but one wish in her heart. An immortal wish. To destroy the divine heart within his breast and unleash the maelstrom of chaos. This was Caius's only wish, and so he waited. He needed one who could surpass him in battle and had the potential to still the heart of chaos. When Noel was born, the Guardian's prayers were answered. If Caius failed to open Atro's gate, he would force Noel to slay the goddess. With the timeline still bent and distorted, the chaotic energy freed by that act would rise of its own accord and shatter the gate. It was his only hope. Datalog. Primers. For beginners. Datalog. As you progress through the game, the datalog will gradually fill with entries on a variety of subjects. A message will appear in the upper left corner of the screen whenever a new entry is added. To browse this information, press Y to access the main menu and then select Datalog. Those who have yet to play Final Fantasy XIII can brush up on basic gameplay by reading through Primers for beginners. Basic controls. Left stick, move character. Right stick, rotate camera. Downward on the right stick, reset camera position. Y button, open main menu. A button, perform action. Start button, pause game, access save option. While exploring the map, certain occurrences or important live events may partially restrict movement or camera controls. The mini-map. The mini-map in the upper right corner of the screen displays a variety of helpful information. In addition to revealing the surrounding terrain, the minimap indicates the direction of your objective and the positions of your companions. Destinations marked with an exclamation point inside a circle represent important objectives that must be completed to progress through the game. Optional objectives are marked with the same character in blue. You can turn off the minimap at any time. To toggle its display, simply press the back key. To configure the minimap and navigation settings, press the Y button to open the main menu and select Settings. Camera settings. A total of 4 camera control schemes and 11 levels of camera control sensitivity are available for selection. To modify your current setting, press the Y button to open the main menu and then select Settings. Jumping. You can press the B button to jump up small steps or over objects blocking your path. You can also jump over larger obstacles in certain locations Press the B button while standing on the glowing blue rings, and your character will automatically leap over the obstacle. Conversing with others. Upon approaching the other characters you encounter while exploring, you will often be spoken to or overhear something being said. These conversations occur automatically and do not require any action on your part. Certain conversations require a button press to initiate. In these instances, press the A button when the talk sign is displayed. If there is more than one person you can speak to nearby, press left or right on the direction pad to switch between the available talk signs. Treasure and gadgets. When approaching treasure spheres or controllable switches, a button prompt will appear. Press the A button to perform actions such as obtaining items or activating machines. These actions will be locked when enemies are nearby, so be sure to first clear the area of hostiles. Battle difficulty. The battle difficulty can be changed by going into the main menu and selecting Settings. There are two options: Normal Mode and Easy Mode. The current difficulty mode is displayed on the battle results screen. Switching to Easy Mode is one way to deal with tough monsters. However, the difficulty mode does affect your battle rank, and you will get more stars and rare items in Normal Mode. Skippable cutscenes. You can press the Start button at any time during a cutscene to pause the action. After doing so, pressing the back button will allow you to skip the rest of the scene if you so desire. Conversations between characters and live events that occur during exploration can also be skipped in the same manner. Preparing for adventure. You can now access party paradigms and the Crystarium. Press the Y button to open the main menu and select these options. Party paradigms. Customize your paradigms. Crystarium. Develop your characters. If you are not sure how to use these options, detailed information can be found in the battle primers. Monster crystals. You have obtained a monster crystal. New functions have been added to your party paradigms and the Crystarium, and you can now access monsters in the main menu. Select Paradigm Pact within Party Paradigms and choose monsters to add into your paradigms. Monsters can also be developed in the Crystarium. Press the Y button and select Monsters to customize your monstrous allies. If you are not sure how to use these options, detailed information can be found in the battle primers. Datalog, primers, gameplay basics, autosave. Final Fantasy XIII-2 will automatically save your progress. During autosave, an icon will appear in the top left corner. You can also save your game manually. Press the Start button to open the pause menu and select Save. You cannot save at points in the game when this option is not displayed. Do not turn off the power or remove storage devices while the save icon is being displayed. The Historia Crux. The Historia Crux is your compass for navigating the rivers of time. Use the left analog stick or the direction pad to select the year and location to which you wish to travel, and confirm your selection using the A button. Each time a new gate is opened, more areas will become unlocked, expanding your freedom to journey along the timeline. Return to Historia Crux. You can return to the Historia Crux by pressing the Start button to open the Pause menu. This option is not available at certain points in the game. By selecting Return to Historia Crux, game progress and data such as character advancement will be saved automatically. Time will cease to flow for that location, and you can safely travel to another area without losing any story progress. Use the Historia Crux as your way station to explore the myriad possibilities available through time travel. Once this primer has appeared, loading saved data will allow you to continue your game from the Historia Crux. Select a location, and off you go. Historia Crux, Changing the Past. Thanks to Sarah and Noel, a new timeline has been created. When a parallel world is unlocked, the 0 in the year is replaced with an X. For example, 1XAF is 10 years after the fall of Cocoon, same as 10AF, but the people have different memories as they've led different lives. You can still return to the original date and location at any time by using the Historia Crux. Types of gates. 3 types of gates exist in the world. The ones that shine like the sun have been blessed by the goddess and require special artifacts. The crystal gates require wild artifacts that can be obtained in many locations and times. However, the artifacts are consumed with each use. The Scorched Gates are the ones most recently used by Sarah and Noel to travel to that location. Approach them and press the A button to return to the Historia Crux. Open, close gate, gate seals. You now have access to the close gate option. Items known as gate seals allow you to close selected space-time locations within the Historia Crux and reset a part of their history. Press the right bumper button to select Close Gate and watch as events are rewound to a point before any artifacts were obtained. Use this option to solve past mysteries once more, or to undo any mistakes that have been made. Note that using this option will not cause you to lose any fragments or key items. Press the right bumper button again to select Open Gate and restore history for a location you have reset. Make clever use of this option to relive events and explore every potential outcome. Gates and fragments. Select a new time travel destination in the Historia Crux. There are multiple dormant time gates in each area. When a gate is activated, one of the gate icons displayed under the area name in the Historia Crux will change color. Each area also holds items known as fragments that can be obtained after completing minor events or missions. The number of fragments for each location is also displayed under the area name. Unlocking a gate opens up a new location. If you get stuck, try seeing if there are any gates you can unlock in the Historia Crux. Mog Clock. Whenever monsters suddenly materialize, the Mog Clock appears and progresses through the following indicators. Green. The enemy is immobile and preemptive strike is possible. If you attack successfully, you will begin the battle with bonuses. Yellow. Enemy is moving and ready for battle. Coming into contact with the enemy will begin a standard battle. Time's up. Enemy is fully alert and attacks. When time runs out, the battle begins automatically. You cannot select retry for battles that begin in this manner. You can attack any enemies within the encounter circle. Press the A button to initiate battle when an enemy is in front of you. Escape from battle by moving far away from enemies so that none remain within the circle. When the Mog Clock appears, it's up to you whether to take on the enemy or flee. The Moogle's Bauble. When searching for artifacts and treasure spheres, pay attention to the Moogle's Bauble. It will glow when in the vicinity of special items and other treasures. Find the places that trigger the Moogle's Bauble and examine the uncovered treasure using the A button. The Moogle Hunt. Occasionally, you will come across treasure spheres or other objects that are out of phase with the current timeline. Should you notice any objects hidden by a strange, shimmering aura, press the right bumper button and ask the Moogle to work his magic. The paradox effect in the immediate vicinity will be dispelled, and you will be then able to access the now tangible object. The Advanced Moogle Hunt. The Moogle Hunt is now better than ever. When you spot mysteriously glowing treasure chests, press the right bumper button to have Mog help you obtain the item inside. Off you go. There's treasure waiting to be discovered. Moogle Throw. The bonds of trust between you and your winged companion have enabled you to perform the Moogle Throw. When you see a treasure sphere or another object far beyond your reach, press the left bumper button to grab the Moogle and line up your aim. Without releasing the button, press the right bumper button to send the Moogle flying off to search the area. If your throw is accurate, Mog will be able to retrieve the treasure for you. If the Moogle is far away when enemies appear, his warning will come too late, and the Mog clock will tick around at a much faster rate. Be careful when throwing the Moogle in monster-infested areas. Mog's Manifestation. The Moogle Throw is new and improved. Even if you don't see treasure, try throwing Mog in random directions. He may not come back empty-handed. The instructions are the same as the original Moogle Throw command. Hold the left bumper button to grab Mog, and press the right bumper button to throw him. Open the main menu with the Y button, and select Fragment Skills. Find Mog's Manifestation from the list and turn the setting to Improved Moogle Throw. Live Triggers. During events and conversations, you will often come across live trigger options. By pressing the relevant button, you can choose how you will act or respond. Certain conversations allow you to explore all of a live trigger's options. Some live triggers with special options only appear after you have fulfilled certain requirements. The selections you make leave their mark on history and may lead to the appearance of valuable items from the edges of space-time. Try all the options you can and discover what the twists and turns of the timeline hold in store. Change leader. You can choose which character you wish to control during battle and exploration. While exploring, press the Y button to open the main menu and select Change Leader to switch characters. During battle, you can also select the Change Leader option in the battle menu. If the current battle leader is KO'd, the remaining character will automatically become the new battle leader. Once the battle ends, control will return to the character originally set as leader. Viewing statuses. Press the Y button to open the main menu and select Status to view a character's status. The icons next to the character's portrait are as follows: Sword, Strength, Staff, Magic. On this page, you can view statistics such as the character's current role, level of current role, HP, character's health, and the ATB gauge level. Passive abilities and resistances. Characters gain passive abilities through weapons and accessories. Monsters also have passive abilities that come from their nature. You can enhance monsters' passive abilities by using Infusion. Press the right trigger to view the details of each ability. Resistances. Shows how much resistance a character has to physical, magic, and elemental attacks. Viewing abilities. Select a character to view a list of the abilities they have learned so far. A character's ability changes with each roll. There are two types of abilities: commands that are manually issued during combat, and auto abilities that are used automatically. As well as abilities, monsters have a special attack they can unleash once the feral link gauge is full. These are also listed on this page. Equipping accessories. Equipping accessories will enhance a character's attributes. Press the Y button to access the main menu and select Equipment to equip or change accessories. It is possible to equip more than one accessory, but be mindful of each item's equipment cost. If the combined cost exceeds a character's accessory capacity, you will have to rethink your accessory choices. As you develop a character, their accessory capacity will increase, allowing you to wear a more expensive combination of items. Accessories. Bonus abilities. Press the Y button to open the main menu and select Equipment to swap weapons and accessories. The right side of the screen displays the item's passive abilities. Combinations of certain equipment can add bonus abilities. These are marked with rings. There are numerous bonus abilities to discover. Try combinations of different weapons and accessories to search for the abilities that work best for you. Fragment skills. After you've collected some fragments, visit the mystic in Serendipity, who will awaken new powers within you. These abilities are known as fragment skills. Fragment skill abilities are unknown until that power is awakened inside of you. Press the Y button to open the main menu and select Fragment Skills to customize your powers. Fragment Skill, Paradox Scope. You have unlocked the fragment skill, Paradox Scope. It's time to head to the mystic residing in Serendipity. This fragment skill will give you the courage to face challenges you thought were impossible. You will find yourself being able to destroy enemies you should have no chance of defeating. Switch this power on, close all the gates in the Historia Crux to reset locations, and challenge yourself to achieve the impossible. Paradox Endings. A paradox ending is a side ending that results from choices Sarah and Noel make somewhere along the timeline. There are several paradox endings hidden within the Historia Crux. Can you find them all? Primers. Battle. ATB. Active Time Battle. Characters perform abilities in battle by expending segments of the ATB gauge, which charges continuously over time. Auto Battle and other similar commands queue up a set of abilities automatically based on the character's role and the situation at hand, only requiring you to choose a target. The Abilities command, on the other hand, allows you to specify individual abilities as you see fit. The number to the right of each ability's name is its ATB cost, the number of charged segments required to perform that action. Naturally, abilities with higher ATB costs require you to wait longer until the ATB gauge is sufficiently charged. Command Tips. If you add an ability to the queue by mistake, cancel it with the B button. Pressing the Y button executes a partial command queue. Queue up a single ability and press the Y button to execute it immediately, or press the Y button after entering a full queue to act before your ATB gauge has filled. Abilities with charged segments will be performed, and the rest will be cancelled. By pressing the left direction on the analog stick, or left on the direction pad at the Abilities command, you can select Repeat, which queues up the last set of abilities used. Game over and retry. A character whose HP reaches 0 is KO'd. If this happens to the battle leader, control will pass to the next available character. If all of your controllable characters are KO'd, the game is over. You can pause a battle with the Start button and then select Retry, which will return you to a moment just before the battle. Items will be returned, but all damage to enemies will be reset. You cannot retry the battle if the option does not appear. Paradigm Shift. A flexible strategy is the key to winning fights. When you wish to change your strategy, press the left bumper button any time during the battle to perform a paradigm shift. Your characters will acquire various roles as they progress through the game, such as the healing-oriented medic and the support-centered synergist. Combinations of these roles are known as paradigms. With clever use of paradigm shifts, you can switch from defensive paradigms containing medics to attacking paradigms featuring commandos and ravagers. Never hesitate to change strategies on the fly. Reacting fast to fluid battle conditions is the surest path to victory. When characters' roles are changed within a paradigm shift, they not only gain new abilities and behavior, but also grant special bonuses to themselves and their party. Advance to the next page to see a list of the different roles and what effects they bring to your party. Commando. Physical attacks maintain chains. Increased strength. Ravager. Magical attacks boost chains. Increased chain bonuses. Sentinel. Defense specialists. Reduced damage taken. Medic. Healing specialists. Enhanced healing effects. Synergist. Buffing specialists. Enhanced support and healing. Saboteur. Debuffing specialists. Increased chance to weaken enemies. Customizing paradigms. Press the Y button to open the main menu and select Party Paradigms to generate or customize paradigms. Up to 6 paradigms can be saved in a paradigm deck. Select Customize to tailor-make your paradigms. Sort the paradigms in the optimum order for combat to ensure efficiency during battle. To have a paradigm created for you, select Generate. This command automatically generates paradigms for you to choose from. Once a paradigm is created, press the Y button to save the paradigm. You can also load paradigms with the Y button. Create and save paradigms using your favorite set of combinations. Paradigm Tuning Strategy. You can fine-tune your paradigms for greater control over battle tactics, such as having allies focus on a single target or multiple targets. Press the Y button to open the main menu and select Party Paradigms, then Customize. To the right of each paradigm name is an icon marked Tune. Move the cursor over to the tuning icon and press the A button to view the options. Triangle, Normal. Characters behave according to the nature of their roles. Snowflake, Cross. Characters focus on one target. Xbox, Wide. Characters focus on multiple targets. Press the A button to confirm your choice. Once a paradigm is tuned, the name will change if either Cross or Wide is chosen. For example, if Cross is selected, the paradigm Cerberus will become Cerberus X. If Wide is selected, the paradigm Cerberus will become Cerberus W. By fine-tuning the same paradigm and adding it to your deck, you will have more options for battle. Master this strategy, and you will be beating your own battle records in no time. Cinematic Action. During key points in important battles, you will sometimes encounter cinematic action events. These events will require you to make quick decisions and press certain buttons, the results of which will alter how the battle unfolds. When a cinematic action sequence begins, follow the on-screen directions and hit the correct control inputs within the time limit. Chains and Staggering. Each time you land a successful attack on an enemy, the enemy's chain gauge, displayed in the upper right corner of the screen, will charge slightly. This gauge drains slowly over time, but by maintaining a steady series of attacks, you can drive the chain bonus, the percentage of damage dealt by each attack, upward. Deliver enough hits in rapid succession, and the gauge will eventually fill. If you connect once more with an enemy in this state, you will stagger that enemy. Staggered enemies take a great deal of damage from every attack. There are also a number of abilities that take advantage of this vulnerable state. When fighting, do your best to stagger your foe as quickly as possible. Crystarium. To develop a character, press the Y button to open the main menu and select Crystarium. The Crystarium shows a map of each character's possible development. Enhance a character's attributes, and learn new abilities by unlocking crystals in the designated role. Crystals can be unlocked using Crystagen points, CP. These points are gained by winning battles and obtaining fragments. Roles and crystals. Each role has a different set of abilities. Commandos focus on gaining strength, while Sentinels focus on gaining HP. The crystals in each map differ by role. Sword, Strength. Staff, Magic. Heart, HP, Health. The size of the crystals is proportionate to the importance of that ability or attribute bonus. The trick is to decide carefully on which role you'd like to spend your CP. Unlocking a crystal increases that role's level by 1. The next available ability is shown in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, as well as on the route itself. Focusing on the development of one role is highly efficient, as you gain growth bonuses while leveling up that role. Leveling up the Crystarium. The Crystarium contains several tiers. Once an entire route has been completed, the Crystarium will gain a level. Leveling up the Crystarium unlocks bonuses such as gaining access to new roles, enhancing accessory capacity, or leveling up the ATB gauge. Paradigm Pack. You can select up to 3 of the monster crystals you obtain in battle to add into your paradigms. These 3 monsters make up a Paradigm Pack. To prepare your monster allies, open the main menu by pressing the Y button and select Party Paradigms. From the Party Paradigms menu, select Paradigm Pack, and then choose the monsters you wish to add to your battle roster. You can now create paradigms that include the creatures in that Paradigm Pack. Execute Paradigm Shift during battle to change the summoned monster you wish to fight with. Learn to use your Paradigm Pack and defeat even the most powerful opponents. Monster HP and KO. During battle, if your current monster ally is wounded and you call upon another using Paradigm Shift, the replacement monster ally will also be wounded. The same rule applies for status ailments and KO'd monsters. When you find yourself in a bind, make sure to heal your way back to health. Obtaining monster crystals. It is possible to increase your chances of obtaining a monster crystal from battles. Enemies defeated using a monster's Feral Link ability are more likely to become crystals. The more successful you are at inputting the Feral Link ability commands, the higher this chance becomes. Don't be shy about using monsters' special attacks to obtain monster allies. Monster growth. Like characters, monsters can be developed through the main menu. Press the Y button to open the menu and select Crystarium. Use monster materials obtained from battles and other means to develop your monsters. Growth bonuses are directly related to the material used, so you can focus on raising a particular attribute. Each monster has its own role and individual growth characteristics. These characteristics can be found under the status display on the right side of the Crystarium screen. Monster growth traits. The most important traits for monster growth are as follows. The cat icon. Growth item grades. Early peaker. Maximum level of 20 but grows quickly. Well grown. Standard growth. Late bloomer. Capable of reaching levels beyond 70. Strong. Strength is easily improved. Magical. Magic is easily improved. Hearty. HP, hit points, are easily increased. Keep your monster's characteristics in mind when choosing which growth items to use. Monster growth items. Items such as potent droplets, power droplets, mana droplets, and vitality droplets are used to develop your monster allies. There are different grades of items, such as droplets, slivers, and orbs. All monsters require grade-appropriate items for development. There are 5 grades, and the grade of each item will be shown in the description with this icon of cat faces. The required item grade increases along with the monster Crystarium level. Bots require different items than beasts. Use materials such as potent bolts, power bolts, mana bolts, and vitality bolts for development. Chips and engines are higher grade items. Whenever you unlock a crystal, you gain a particular growth bonus, such as a strength bonus or magic bonus, depending on the material used. Decide which of a monster's attributes you wish to develop to make the most efficient use of the different monster materials. Special attacks. Monsters. Every monster ally has a special attack that can be unleashed once the feral link gauge is full. This gauge charges as the battle progresses, especially when building chain bonuses. When the monster's icon begins to flash, press the X button to activate its feral link ability. Follow the button prompts quickly and accurately to bring out the most of monsters' capabilities. Keep your eyes on the screen and get ready to test your reflexes. Monster customization. Press the Y button in the main menu and select Monsters to customize your monsters. You can change their names or dress them up with adornments. The adornments are for looks only and won't affect your monster's performance in battle, so go ahead and decorate your menagerie how you please. Monster customization. Infusing abilities. Monsters can be infused with the ability of other monsters. Press the Y button to open the main menu and go to Monsters. Select a monster from the list, then select Infusion to give that monster the abilities of another creature. Commands and auto abilities can be infused from monsters who share the same role. Passive abilities can be infused from any any monsters. However, passive abilities marked with a red lock cannot be transferred. A monster can have up to 10 passive abilities. Any abilities infused above this limit will replace the most recent addition, although those marked with the yellow lock icon will be given precedence. The number of command and auto abilities a monster has available for infusion is related to its Crystarium level. A fully developed monster will provide a larger selection of infusion options. Be sure about your choices, as the monster sacrificing its abilities will be consumed and will disappear from the monster list. Libra and the Bestiary. During combat, press the right bumper button to use Libra and view enemy information. You will learn more about your foes as you fight them, or you can use a Librascope to learn everything immediately. Knowing the enemy's weakness allows you to create an efficient battle strategy. You can view enemy information by pressing the Y button to open the main menu and selecting Bestiary. Once all data pertaining to that enemy is collected, a checkmark icon will appear. The following icons are found in the Reports section of the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Diamond, Tamed Monsters. Catface, Tameable Monsters. Catface X'd Over, Untamable Monsters. Roll, Commando. The Commando. Commandos have the most damage-dealing potential, and their powerful attacks maintain the chain gauge longer than others. Pair them with Ravagers, whose magic attacks boost the chain gauge to inflict a constant stream of damage. Roll bonus. Physical and magical attacks deal extra damage. Roll, Ravager. The Ravager. Ravager attacks are infused with the 4 elements: fire, ice, lightning, and wind. A combination of the Ravager's various abilities can increase the chain bonus and unleash more damage. Find out the enemy's vulnerability and execute commands that zero in on its weakness. Pair Ravagers with the stabilizing Commando to make an efficient chain-building machine. Roll bonus. Improved chain bonuses. Roll, Sentinel. The Sentinel. Sentinels bear the brunt of enemy attacks to protect the rest of the party. With their high defensive capabilities, they have the ability to lessen the amount of damage taken and to launch counterattacks. They can also increase chain bonus duration with the Provoke command. Use this roll when fighting multiple foes who deal heavy physical damage. Roll bonus. Physical and magic resistance is increased. Roll, Medic. The Medic. Medics support parties by healing, curing status ailments, and even reviving KO'd allies. When curing status ailments, the most recent one will be remedied first. The downside to medics is that they lack offensive power, causing battles to last longer than desired. Roll bonus. Healing abilities and items restore more HP. Roll, Synergist. The Synergist. Synergists enhance allies' powers. They can boost offensive and defensive strength and add elemental effects to attacks. When facing a strong opponent, use a Synergist to buff your party with extra powers before switching to a more offensive role. Switch your synergist back in as the enhancements wear off. Role bonus. Abilities grant longer-lasting status enhancements. Role: Saboteur. The Saboteur. Saboteurs can weaken enemy attacks and defenses and inflict status ailments on foes. Successfully performed abilities boost the chain bonus. Damage is dealt even when abilities are unsuccessful. Once the enemy has been debuffed, switch the Saboteur out for a more offense-oriented role, and switch him back in when necessary. Role bonus. Abilities are more likely to succeed on enemies. Role: Monsters. Monsters have their own designated roles, and learn abilities based on that role. When developing a monster, use monster materials that best suit that monster's attributes. By continuously infusing a monster with the abilities of a creature with a different role, it will learn a hidden ability. Review the characteristics of your monsters to create an undefeatable party of powerful allies. Using items. During battle, when HP is low, items such as potions can be used to restore health. To revive someone who has been KO'd, use a Phoenix Down. To cure someone's status ailment, use an item such as a Remedy. Items are consumed per use, and will take effect immediately. They do not affect the ATB gauge in any way. Go to Items in the main menu to sort your items. Putting the items most used in combat at the top of the list will be a great time saver during battle. Wounding. Certain powerful attacks are so damaging that they sap the life of the target and reduce maximum HP. When this effect takes place, the damage display is accompanied with the word "wounded." Wounds cannot be healed by spells or normal potions, making foes with this ability extremely dangerous. Wound damage can only be cured using wound potions. It will also be removed at the end of battle. Fire, ice, lightning, and wind. Each enemy has an element to which they are vulnerable. Heavy damage can be dealt with the right elemental attack. The 4 elements are fire, ice, lightning, and wind, and they all have corresponding elemental attacks such as fire, blizzard, thunder, and arrow, spells that are available to Ravagers. During battle, press the right bumper button to use Libra and learn the target's elemental vulnerabilities and strengths. Each element is represented with an icon. Elemental attacks. Abilities such as Enfire infuse attacks with elemental effects. An element and sword icon is displayed while the effect lasts. Elemental resistances. Foes also have the ability to unleash elemental-based magic and physical attacks. Sentinels are protected by Element Guard, and there are accessories that increase elemental resistance. Elemental, physical, and magic resistances. Physical and magic resistances take precedence over elemental resistance. For example, a spell like Thunder will not harm a foe that nullifies magic attacks, even if it is vulnerable to lightning. In this case, a physical attack that deals lightning damage such as Spark Strike is the way to go. Some foes nullify both physical and magic attacks. Use Libra to find an efficient strategy against these troublesome creatures. Status shift. In a battle, allies and enemies alike can be aided or hindered by status changes. Synergists boost the offensive and defensive abilities of friends, while saboteurs weaken foes. Enemies can inflict status ailments on members of your party too. There are 12 ailments in total, and if left untreated they will weaken your characters and make the battle much harder to win. Learn how status ailments affect you, and keep your party healthy and alive. Status ailments and their icons. Use the saboteur's abilities to inflict status ailments on foes and make those tough battles a little easier. Here are some status ailments. A. Poison. Deals damage over time. B. Pain. Disables physical abilities. C. Fog. Disables magic abilities. D. Curse. Increases odds of being interrupted. Also increases wound damage taken. E. Deprotect. Reduces physical resistance. F. D-Shell. Reduces magic resistance. G. Imperil. Reduces elemental resistance. Foes also have abilities that can diminish your stats. Below are a few examples. A. D-Brave. Reduces strength. B. D-Faith. Reduces magic. C. Slow. Reduces target's ATB gauge recharge rate. D. Daze. Stuns the target and increases damage taken. Use the ability Veil to increase your resistance to these ailments. An icon with an upwards arrow represents an active resistance to bonus Z. The item Remedy and the ability Esuna will remove status ailments starting from the one most recently inflicted. Other items such as Antidote and Holy Water can be used to remove specific ailments. Here are some other status ailments. A. Doom. Once Doom is cast, a countdown begins immediately and the target dies when the count hits 0. The target cannot be cured with Esuna or Remedy. B. Dispel. Removes target's most recent enhancement. C. Re-raise. Revives target from KO. Cannot be dispelled. D. Regen. Gradually restores HP over time. Cannot be dispelled. Status Shift. Canceling status ailments. Status ailments can be cancelled out with buffs that have the opposite effect. Instead of relying solely on medics, you can use synergists to heal ailments. Similarly, enemy buffs can be nullified by saboteur abilities. D-Brave can be cured with Bravery. D-Faith can be cured with Faith. D-Protect can be cured with Protect. D-Shell can be cured with Shell. Curse can be cured with Vigilance. Slow cannot be cancelled by another ability. Imperil cannot be cancelled by another ability. Battle results. Your battle score is based on the speed with which you dispatch the enemy, and varies depending on how your time compares to the target time. The score determines your battle rank, which is displayed using stars. If you finish the battle within the target time, you will receive between 3 to 5 stars. The rank in turn determines what items you receive at the end of the battle. A higher rank grants better spoils. The recent battle total is the total score of the latest 20 battles. Primers. Exploration. Map. Maps display your current position and objectives as well as other points of interest in the vicinity. You can obtain new maps from sources such as treasure spheres or people in the area. To open the map of your current location, press the X button. You can also view the map by pressing the Y button to open the main menu, and then selecting Map. To find the location of your objective, use up and down on the direction pad to move the cursor on the top left-hand corner of the screen. The selected location will appear on the map. The number displayed after Explored at the bottom of the screen represents the percentage of the current map you have uncovered. Types of treasure chests. There are two types of treasure chests. The sphere-shaped chests are more common and found in many locations. Once a chest is opened in a certain location, that chest will no longer contain treasure even if you return in a different time. Box-shaped chests exist only in that time and location. They contain special items such as fragments and live trigger rewards. However, they are not permanent like spheres, so grab them while you can. Fragments. By resolving the anomalies along the timeline, you will obtain special objects known as fragments. Fragments are memories of time solidified into shards, each containing a valuable piece of knowledge or slice of history. To view which fragments you currently possess, press the Y button to access the main menu and select Fragments. There are 160 fragments hidden in the world. Total fragments can tell you how many of them you have discovered. Fragment quests. The time distortion has created problems for everyone. The people in need of help will ask you to defeat monsters or find certain items. By fulfilling their wishes, you are rewarded with fragments. If you must return to the quest giver to complete the mission, the excitement icon will appear on the map showing you where you must go. The excitement icon will appear for monster slaying quests, and these missions will conclude as soon as the creature is defeated. If the objective of the quest is unknown, the question mark will appear on the map. You can only accept up to 2 missions per location at the same time. Some difficult missions won't be solvable in the time period in which you accepted them. Be prepared to unravel the mysteries of the timeline and collect all the fragments available. Fragments and the Mystic. Once you've collected a large number of fragments, it's time to visit the Mystic. Through the grace of the goddess, she may be able to awaken powers within you. These abilities are known as fragment skills. The Mystic can be found waiting for you inside the casino Serendipity. Chocobos. Chocobos are large birds used as riding mounts. Feed Geisel greens to a chocobo, and it'll let you hop on the saddle and ride around. You will not encounter any monsters while mounted, so chocobos are your best option when you wish to travel somewhere quickly and safely. Press the left bumper button when you wish to dismount. There are some locations where these speedy avian companions are not initially available, but keep exploring and you might find they eventually appear. No time traveler should miss the chance to see the world from the back of a chocobo. Rambunctious chocobos. Red-feathered, purple-tailed, rambunctious chocobos are a mutant breed born from a paradox. If you approach the chocobo with Geisel greens in your possession, it will allow you to ride it. However, this greedy bird will continue to feed on your greens while you are its passenger. When it's devoured all that you have, it will mercilessly throw you off and run away. You can increase the time this chocobo will allow you to ride it by collecting certain fragments. Chocolina's Shop. Chocolina is a mysterious traveling merchant who appears all along the timeline. She offers a variety of items to aid travelers. With the right components and a crafter's fee, Chocolina can even create special weapons and equipment. When browsing the shop menu for items, be sure you have the required components as well as a sufficient amount of gil. Graviton Cores. Collect all the graviton cores required to levitate the new cocoon. The scientists at the Academy need you to bring 5 different graviton cores. Try asking at the front desk of Academy headquarters for information on where to begin your search. Once you have the cores, return to Academy headquarters and deliver them to Alyssa. Captain Cryptic's Confounding Quiz. Captain Cryptic appears in unexpected places only to frazzle others with his confounding quiz. Try it yourself and see if you can solve the confusing conundrums. Who knows? You might win a special reward. Captain Cryptic is always somewhere in academia in the year 4XXAF, but finding him is half the trouble. Eavesdrop on the citizens of the city for clues on his current whereabouts. Brain Blast. Brain Blast is a quiz game craze sweeping the city of academia. Access one of the quiz terminals and challenge your gray matter. A wonderful prize is awarded to those who give correct answers to every question. There are multiple quiz terminals, so why not try for a perfect score at every location? Searchlights. The behemoths prowling in the darkness of Yaschus Massif have a strong aversion to light. If you encounter one of these dangerous beasts, run into the nearest patch of light to return the Mog clock to a safe state. Once the Mog clock is green, it's time to plan your next move. Monsters will not appear if you stay within the roving searchlight beams. Try to figure out the safest route and avoid confronting a behemoth. Living on the steppe. In the harsh wilderness of the Arkilti steppe, people have to help each other if they are to survive. This is your chance to win the acceptance of the hunters. Talk to the villagers and listen to their tales of woe. accept their requests for help, solve their problems, and soon you will be able to gain their trust. Weather controlling device. Mastering the weather controlling device is proof of a great hunter. There are 2 levers, one on each side of the machine. Only one side can be maneuvered at a time. Stand near the lever you wish to pull or push and press the A button. The weather will change accordingly. There are 4 possible weather conditions: sunny, windy, rainy, and stormy. Try different combinations to figure out how to manipulate the weather. Academia Defense System. The Academia Defense System is out of control, and you find yourself trapped inside a limited area. Defeat the security bots that guard the glowing barricades and escape the lockdown. There is more than one path before you. If you come across an enemy you just can't beat, try to find another route forward. Augusta Tower Access Key. A malfunctioning switch is preventing you from traveling further into Augusta Tower. You need the Augusta Tower Access Key 50 to solve the paradox that is causing this malfunction. This item can be found in a different era. Return to the Historia Crux and search for the necessary access key in another time. There is a gate within a different space-time that can be opened using a wild artifact. Check all of the gate icons in the Historia Crux and search for a not yet unlocked crystal gate. Anomaly in Augusta. A future paradox has infested the Augusta Tower of 300 AF, turning its chambers and passages into a confusing maze. Restore the rooms to their correct positions and resolve the anomaly. Revolving rooms. Augusta Tower has turned into a paradoxical maze. Use the switches to rotate the rooms and make your way through the tower. Connecting open doors with passages will open the path before you. Learn which switches move which rooms in order to progress. Monster Finder. The young Flan in Sunleth 400 AF have lost their way. 5 poor Flan have wandered into a time distortion and have been phased out of time. Using Mog's powers, find them and help them back into this world. Labyrinth of Chaos. The roads of Academia 500 AF are infused with chaos. When a path ends, press the B button to jump across to the next path. If you fall, you'll be sent back to the starting point. If you find yourself having trouble progressing, try obtaining the fragment skill that allows you to jump farther, collecting fragments from other times and locations, and head to the Mystic in Serendipity for your reward. Checkpoints. When you examine a Cactuar statue using the A button, you create a new checkpoint. You will now reappear at this position if you fail a jump. Use the Cactuar statues to record your progress, and don't forget to examine each one you pass. Labyrinth of Chaos. Chaos Blocks. In Academia 500 AF, the powers of chaos have wreaked havoc on the city's walkways. Manipulate the blocks to change the way they move and create new routes. Look for patterns, watch your step, and hurry towards the looming bulk of the man-made cocoon. Temporal rift. Tile trial. The void beyond harbors extra-dimensional spaces known as temporal rifts. To escape a temporal rift, you must unravel the mystery set forth by the crystals and resolve the presented anomaly. This particular rift features a disappearing floor. Any tile you pass over will fade into nothingness, so think carefully about the route you must take to collect all the crystals before reaching the exit portal. Temporal rift. Crystal bonds. To escape this temporal rift, you must restore the bonds between crystals of the same shape and color. If you press and hold the A button when on a tile that holds a crystal, a shining line will be drawn along your subsequent path. Simply move to a crystal of the same shape and color to connect them. The shape and color of the crystals will continuously change, so careful timing is essential. Once all the crystals have been connected, exit through the portal to continue your journey. Temporal rift. The hands of time. The mystery of this temporal rift is known as the hands of time. To resolve this anomaly, you must erase all the crystal numbers from the clock face. You can choose any of the numbers from which to start. When you stand on a crystal number and press the A button, the two clock hands will move, and the crystal you are standing on will disappear. Starting from the location where you are standing, the clock hands will tick in opposite directions, and come to rest in positions a number of spaces away equal to the crystal number that disappeared. You can now choose to erase a crystal number from one of the positions where the clock hands have stopped. These positions will be marked with a glowing circle. Think carefully about where the clock hands will end up as you choose which crystal number to erase. If both clock hands stop in positions where no crystal numbers are present, you have no choice but to select Retry. Once you have erased all the crystal numbers, you can continue to the exit portal. Primers. Casino. Hitting the casino. Why not forget the passage of time for a while and visit the wondrous gaming halls of serendipity? In this casino at the edge of eternity, all the gambling is done using casino coins. Once you've amassed a sufficient number of coins, you can exchange them for a variety of prizes found only in serendipity. Casino coins can be purchased with gil, so make the exchange desk your first stop. Chocobo Races. Welcome to the Chocobo Races. This is Serendipity's famous racetrack, where chocobos strut their stuff for fortune and glory. Naturally, you receive prize money for races your chocobo wins, but you can also bet on other chocobos that you think will place. Head to the reception counter and register your chocobo today. Racing your chocobo. The Serendipity Chocobo Races give you the chance to pit your chocobo against other feathered thoroughbreds in a dash for the finish line. You can race your own chocobo to win coins and prizes, or bet on your favorite chocobos for a big payout. However, there is a limit to how many coins you can bet at once. Note that any chocobos registered for races will be unavailable for battles. Chocobo attributes. Racing chocobos have the following attributes: speed, effective over short distances; stamina, effective over long distances; RP, race points. Race points represent a chocobo's racing lifespan and are consumed with every race entered. If a chocobo runs out of RP, its racing days are over. Abilities. These are the chocobo's special traits. Press the Y button to view ability details. Race types. There are 5 classes of races in which you can enter your chocobo. You begin at Cocoon class. After meeting the requirements, the next highest class will be unlocked, and the list of races you can enter will grow. To unlock higher classes, you must win qualifying races within the set average time. Hone your skills and aim for the lofty heights of FFXIII class. Your race list will contain 6 races. If you don't see a race you wish to enter, try using a shuffle item to refresh the list of available races. In addition to standard races, there are also graded races. Graded races offer better prizes, but you will also face stronger competition. Winning graded races will unlock an even higher tier of secret races. This is the highest level of competition and features the most rare and elite birds. Train your chocobo well and see how far you can go. The racing form. The racing form is the screen where you select your chocobo's strategy, use items, and place bets on other chocobos. The following is an explanation of the terms and symbols that appear. Use this information when placing bets and deciding a race plan. Name. The names of the chocobos entered in the race. Fav. Ranks indicating the race favorites. Star. Sure bet. Very high chance of victory. A. Race favorite. High chance of victory. B. Fair bet. Good shot at second. Can beat race favorite. C. Underbird. A threat to place. D. Middle of the pack. Not likely to place. E. Lowest rank. Pack fodder. Hyphen. No mark. Unrated long shot. The ranks are estimates at best, so expect some upsets. Strat. There are 4 strategies for chocobo racing. Number 1. Take early lead and keep it. Number 2. Stay with leading pack, move up from halfway. Number 3. Stay behind lead pack, overtake from halfway. Number 4. Conserve stamina. Sprint for win in final moments. You can change your own chocobo's strategy. Consider your chocobo's attributes and abilities when deciding which strategy will work best. Cond. The condition of a chocobo varies and is represented by the icons in this column. Items are available that improve the condition of your chocobo. Chocobo with a heart, top condition, may perform much better than expected. Chocobo with a music note, good condition, may run slightly faster than usual. Chocobo, normal condition, should perform as expected. Chocobo with teardrop, subpar condition, performance may suffer. Chocobo with signal goodness indicator, terrible condition, lacking energy and vigor. Odds. This column shows the payout for a winning bet on the chocobo. The higher the number, the less likely the chocobo is to win. Winning races. During a race, there are a couple of things you can do to control your chocobo and boost your odds of winning. Sprinting start. Press the A button the instant the race begins to perform a sprinting start and get the jump on the rest of the pack. The skill Rocket Blast increases the window for correctly timing the button press. Boost. Pressing A during the race will deplete the boost gauge at the bottom right of the screen and give your chocobo a burst of speed. Some abilities will charge the boost gauge when certain conditions are met. The rate at which the boost gauge charges will vary depending on your chocobo's strategy and how it matches the pace of the race. In a high-pace race, the gauge will charge faster using the number 3 and number 4 strategies. During a slow-pace race, the gauge will charge faster using either number 1 or number 2. Spend a moment to check the other racers' strategies and predict the pace before choosing your own tactics. Some chocobo abilities will only be activated when using certain strategies. You can view an ability's details by pressing the Y button, so be sure to keep this in mind when selecting a strategy. A chocobo's attributes are linked with their battle statistics. If you find your chocobo just can't win a race, try retiring the bird and developing its attributes in the crystarium.